So to start with, I've marked my area and I've roughly cut out a panel. I'm going to offer it up and just check it's the right sort of area that I'm covering to be repaired. And to start with, I'm going to roughly shape it with a shop bag and a wooden hammer. So I'm going to start beating in the centre to get some stretch into the panel, and hopefully that will bring the curvature of the panel this way and also that way, because there's two curves on where we're repairing. Alright, so now I've got some general shape into it. It looks pretty messy. Start working out them dings with the side of the hammer with a planishing motion to get it a bit smoother for when we take it to the English wheel. Okay, so we've got the start of some shape in here. It's very rough to start with, but we wanted to get, we're roughing out the panel to start with, so we're offering it up here. You can see it's all ripply and warped and stuff, so that shows me there's too much material on this edge here. So we can either shrink this edge or we can add more stretch into here, but that will all be based on the shape of the panel underneath it. So we'll take it to the English wheel next and start smoothing it out. Right, so this is our English wheel, and we use it for mainly making the panels on the restorations where we can't buy a panel. So it's a Morgan, it's a really old piece of kit, and it's super useful in ways that when you get a panel, if you've bought a panel and it's not quite the right shape, we have a selection of lower dies of all different shapes to suit whatever curvature you need for that panel. When you're making a new panel, you can select which wheel you need for that shape. So changing the wheel, simple process, just let it off, new one in, and you're ready to go. Okay, so we're locking the wheel off, but the wheels are loose. So you need to adjust the tension or the pressure of the lower die with your foot on the floor, so the panel doesn't move inside the wheel. But what you want to be careful of is not putting on too much pressure on the lower die, because that can create grooves and put too much stretch in the panel and it'll be totally the wrong shape. Okay, so we've got the correct tension on the wheel now for planching out our hammer marks. When you're wheeling, you're going to go end to end on the panel and moving over ever so slightly, because if the gaps between runs are big, then you'll get a wavy panel. So they need to be close together and lots of them. Like this. So we've got the general shape of the panel, the repair panel now, and it fits quite nicely. Needs a little bit of tweaking to get it exact, but we're going to start by drilling some holes and fixing it to the old panel with some aircraft fixings, which will hold it in place so I can mark the lines so I know where to cut. Okay, so we've got the repair panel just tagged down with these little aircraft fixings, and it's still slightly high on each edge. So I've highlighted that with a quick pen mark. So that means this panel's going to be rocking on a high spot in here. So either this edge here we can shrink down in the shrinker stretcher, or we can do more English wheel work and stretch out the centre of the panel to bring the shape right round. I made the final adjustments and just shrunk those two little edges down. I've also trimmed the panel down ever so slightly too, because I didn't actually need to repair that much of the panel. But it's now at the state where I can mark both edges and get it welded in.